but the problem is that the second nair always kind of sends them pretty far, and I think the second nair probably on DI away doesn't have a true follow-up.
Yeah, you can check it. Like here, go and pause. Yeah, you can adjust the DI settings with the D-pad.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you want to do like combo DI, then you could turn. I usually turn smash DI off just because 33% chance to smash DI, like a frame of hit lag, is a lot. Like most people do not do that much, so I always turn smash DI off just for like simplicity, and then I just kind of assume, like I just trust myself to compensate accordingly.
What is combo DI? That's like them trying to combo like DI away to not get comboed.
Yeah, it basically does like the like what vector gives them like the furthest distance from you. So, yeah. So this would be like down and away, which is why he's ASDIing down.
See what I mean about if they get that spot dodge, like the second nair just hits.
Could you down smash that? Okay.
Maybe like dash double jump land down smash.
Or just go forward. Just go forward more with like the nair.
Yeah. Another thing I've noticed is that back air is actually insane.
Yeah, it's like probably one of her best footsie tools. Like just generally speaking, it's such a good move.
Let me change this.
Try to like so. Survival DI is like the opposite. It's to be like the vector that keeps them closest to you.
Yeah, that's actually what I want to practice again. I feel like that's what a lot of people do, like naturally.
Mm-hmm. Well, also like your character's counterplay for like holding down is like pretty straightforward. Like you've got like the literal best overhead in the game for like punishing that. So it's like, yeah, you're cooking. If they ever like hold down, you know, honestly, I think a big part of her is just figuring out when people are likely to hold down and then punishing it. Like, I think that's actually a huge component of the character. Because that's really like one of the ways that you break people who are like if they see that you're coming down with aerial, and a lot of times you just don't, and you like empty land down smash. Like a lot of those can like just be devastating if the opponent's at low percent and they're planning on CCing your aerial. Yeah, just things like that.
But that was a true combo, 56%. I feel like maybe she's a really good character, honestly.
She has insane, like her up close game is absolutely bonkers. She's so good in a scrap. Like, I actually think that Peach's like advantage state is often just like landing next to the opponent at like 0-0. Like she just gets next to the opponent at 0-0, and then they have to deal with like, her various bulldozer moves. She's got like mix-ups for those things if they like play passively. She's got her like float cancel, so she can set up like really powerful offense. She's got a lot going on when she's close to someone. Like she's a sick character.
Dude, she's so fucking sick. It's actually crazy. So taking a quick step back, sorry for jumping in so quick. I've been practicing these for like an hour now, and I was just really hyped about getting actually somewhat consistent. I feel like the nairs are actually very, very difficult. Maybe underrated in terms of like how difficult they are to get them out quickly, which only makes the recent LOD clip that much more impressive.
Oh yeah, no. Like her text. Okay, so first of all, if you're excited to show me something, I'm never gonna be upset about that. Like just as a general rule, I love that you're like that you found a part of her that you're really like excited to work on. That's awesome. LOD, yes, her float cancel nair is difficult, like especially doing them to maximize like efficiency, where you like fall before you hit their shield. Like that's just incredibly tight. It's not easy. Yeah, it just is what it is. But it makes it when you hit it like so like super impressive, because like those are a tricky input. With that aside, what do you want? What are your thoughts on what you want to do today? Like, I know that last time we kind of worked on a lot of kind of conceptual ideas, and it seems that you've definitely been working on them in the lab. Have you been using them in matches?
Yes. So I played a lot this week. Probably the most I've played since we started working together. Not necessarily all ranked. It was kind of like 1/3 ranked, 2/3 unranked.
Mm-hmm.
I also played quite a lot of Sheik. There was a day where I played ranked, and I was like, I lost a couple matches and I was kind of down about it, and then I realized, like, what am I doing? I'm hyper fixated on this number, and somehow it feels like because this number's not going up, I'm not getting better. But I know for a fact that I'm tightening up, I'm learning a lot, and I am getting better. And so I just wanted to kind of have fun with the game. So I was playing some other characters and just kind of trying to take it a little bit less seriously for a day.
Yeah,
And
it's
I
really
kind
important.
yeah. I zeroed in on Sheik, and I actually really kind of think Sheik is a pretty interesting character. I feel like she, in a lot of situations, kind of wants the same thing as Peach in terms of just kind of neutral, wanting to take stage, keeping them away, and also has maybe a lot more straightforward options in certain situations.
Yeah.
And she's just been really fun to play. And also, I've been using Zelda was like my original main back before, I realized the game was like actually interesting. Like back when I was a kid playing Melee for fun.
Yeah, when
And
I was playing, like, my version would be playing Kirby. I get it.
yeah, so I kind of am a big Zelda fan. And when I first got into competitive Melee, I tried to play Zelda. So I've actually got quite a lot of Zelda under my belt, and I feel like I like her against certain low tiers. I've been having a bit of a hard time against a couple of low tiers, especially Luigi. Like, he's really starting to get on my damn nerves. This guy lose every ranked match against Luigi. So I've been unironically practicing Zelda against some of the low tiers, and I feel like she maybe is the most straightforward character that I currently am playing to beat someone like Luigi.
Yeah, so, like, let's talk about that, because I think that there's a lot of wisdom to be drawn from, like, how simpler designs can actually be quite effective against someone like Luigi. Like, I think that one of the traps we can fall into with a character like Peach is she has so many options, right? Like, she's got a lot going on, and then, like...
Yeah.
But, so when we go up against Luigi, if we're not using the ones that are best suited for beating him, then, like, the matchup can feel really confusing, because it's like, I don't get it. Like, what is this? By comparison, Zelda, Zelda I think has all the things that you want to beat Luigi. She, like, whether she wins the matchup or not is irrelevant here. I just mean that, like, strategically why she's good versus Luigi makes, like, a ton of sense. Or why he's one of her better matchups. So let me ask you, when you're fighting Luigi, what do you notice about, like, the fight dynamic when you're playing Zelda? Like, what's going on a lot of the time?
Well, I'm taking center stage, and I am putting out as many fairs and bears as possible, and just like reading their approach and movement, and just trying to hit them with fair, basically.
Okay, and when you play the matchup with Peach, what are you doing?
I don't know, and that's a lot of the problem. Is like I can't figure out what the hell to do. Sometimes I try to turnip spam, and then I just get wave dashed on. Sometimes I try to play defensive, and I get down smashed. He actually has a lot of crazy combos against her just because of her weight and. So if he gets like one really juicy opening, it feels really bad, and it can just really quickly sort of go from like kind of an okay even matchup to like, oh man, I'm getting shit on.
Oh yeah.
I also think it's like weirdly hard to edge guard him as Peach for some reason.
Not sure I'd go that far, but like I would agree that there's like a method, and like if you don't know it, then like yeah, it's really weird because a lot of the things you do conventionally versus other characters you don't really do against him. So okay, it's weird, but like it's doable is how I'd describe it.
For sure.
So
I don't think it's undoable. I just think for whatever reason I've been having a hard time.
Yeah, and know what? That's fair. Like heck, there was a period in my life where I didn't know how to edge guard him with Sheik, but then like I figured out that his side B is terrible. If he doesn't misfire, his side B is terrible, and you can plan around the misfire pretty easily. But let's talk about on stage, because I think that this is like really we need to like win on stage before we can get him off the stage. So. If we had, the undershoot, overshoot, whiff punish triangle, like that system we figured out, like that we talked about a while back.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about Luigi. Which of the three is Luigi good at, and which one is he bad at? Because I think that this will help us understand why Zelda is working.
He's very good at overshoot. That's
absolutely.
That's literally his whole game plan is overshoot.
Not sure I'd go quite that far, but I would say that of the three of them, it is his strongest attribute by far. So yeah, agreed there. Which one then? So we're left with undershooting, i.e., self-defense, like using your moves to guard your space, and then we have whiff punishing, dodging, reactive, using your movement to position yourself to reactively punish or effectively go second on something that somebody does. So, between those two, which one would you say he's better at?
Probably whiff punishing. I don't really feel like Luigi's built for undershooting. Like, he doesn't really. I mean, he's got the down air, which he could sort of like short hop. He can get multiple aerials out, so he can kind of like in place sort of down air nair and kind of rinse and repeat. But I don't feel like that's actually super strong, unless like I'm just running at him. So I'd say probably whiff punish because he can get in so quick with the down or with the wave dash.
Okay. So when you're fighting him with Zelda, what are you and you're having success there? How easily would you say he's punishing your fair and bear on average?
Not great. But I'm not sure if that's like due to the matchup or due to the players.
Well, let's think about this for a second. So when you're dealing with a Zelda, what movements do you usually use? Is it wave dashing?
I do a lot of standing, waiting for them to approach, to be honest.
Okay, but let's say she has center stage, and then like you have to navigate through that. We have to be kind of careful of our space. We might not be able to just stay where we are. We might have to move a little bit. What movements do you think you would generally use there?
I don't know. I don't feel like I play a lot of Zeldas.
But we'll use Ganondorf. Ganondorf works too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you either want to come at him, I think, vertically. So, like, either below him or above him, it feels like. Maybe not above him as much for Ganondorf, but...
Yeah, because of his up air. What about moving on the ground? Like, what movements do we use on the ground?
Just a lot of, at least with Peach, a lot of dashing and floating, just basically trying to, like... I think with Ganondorf, maybe I actually do go for whiff punishing or, like, trying to get early pressure. And then, like, it's easier because once you get a hit, you can kind of bully him pretty hardcore, I think.
I think that you can bully most characters pretty effectively in this game with Peach, so we're not worried about that, but I think you just nailed it. Use your dash. Why do you think you use but why not use your wave dash? Like, if Peach's dash and wave dash are the same speed, and they are, basically, like, they both take within 3 frames, they both get across battlefield when done perfectly in, like, the same amount, in roughly the same amount of time. It's like within 3 frames from one end to the other end. So it's not like a huge difference. So if those two things are basically the same speed, and she has more tools out of the end of her wave dash, why do we use the dash though? Why does that make more sense?
It's just less of a commitment, and you're just kind of keeping more options open, I guess.
You're keeping more options open at all times. It's more dynamic. You never have you can always during a dash and the initial dash frames, or if you do a trot, like the entire duration of it, like you always have the ability to shield, to change direction, to stop. Like you have way more fine control compared to wave dashing, right?
Yeah.
So which one is better for whiff punishing?
I guess just the dash, right? Like, keep your options open. I feel like, especially against Ganondorf, just thinking about it, a lot of what I do is, like, I'm either waiting for him to get scared and get in shield, and so there's a lot of, like, sometimes there will be wave dashes thrown in. A lot of it's like, okay, let's wait for him to do something because I don't want to get fared or grabbed.
Yeah. So let's now let's compare this to extrapolate this to Luigi. So Luigi has like a very poor dash dance because of his low traction. He moves really, really slowly when he tries to dash dance because he just is working with so much momentum against him, especially if he's wave dash towards someone. But in contrast, his wave dash is really long, but like, is it really that good for like whiff punishing? Probably not. It's really built more for chasing or running away from people. Like, it moves him a really long distance in one direction, but it doesn't have flexibility. So,
right.
I would argue that with his great forward tilt, his great down smash, like he's got a good up smash, down smash, and forward tilt, on top of like the double aerials in place that we've mentioned, I would say it's actually his undershooting that's quite good. Like once he's in a scrap with you, he actually has game. But it's his whiff punishing, his ability to like move around someone and like hit them after, or like space with precision, because he also doesn't have much air mobility. So usually like the backup plan for like, if you can't do this from the ground, Like, if you can't operate from the ground as a whiff punisher, well, you just, you know, if you're a high air mobility character like Jigglypuff or something, like, that's fine. You just do it from the air. But Luigi can't even do that.
Right.
So what I would say
Such
is...
a strange character.
Well, what I would say is he's actually, like, what I like about him is he's actually a really extreme archetype, because he's just got, like, the low traction characters, in general, have this weakness. They're really, really bad at whiff punishing, because they move so far, they commit so hard with their lungy movements. So,
right.
I would bet, if we borrow the wisdom of Zelda, what if we just put attacks in spots that are kind of difficult for his main moves to reach? Like, what if we just, like... Because his forward tilt hits in front of him, right? Like, where would he have to be to, like, jump above his forward tilt, down smash, and down air? Like, what angle are we attacking from with our float?
I guess just sort of like above him, so basically kind of like in my mind, something like this, bear or fair.
Yeah,
like
that looks great. Probably a little lower, maybe one height lower. Like, no, that one. Like, when you're... Yeah, exactly. Like, that looks so obnoxious for him to deal with. Like, as long as we're above his forward tilt, I just don't see what he does to us, like, realistically. Like,
yeah, I think a lot of my trouble against him has been that I've been playing him, like, almost too honestly. Like, I've been actually trying to, like, really approach and, like, you know, really play the game. And I feel like in a lot of ways against him, like, the actual strat is just to kind of chill a little bit.
Well, see, it's interesting that you say that you're trying to approach and play the game, because I would say that as a slow character, boxing someone in once you're in a strong fighting position, and making them have to deal with you, and using that to, like, decide whether you approach or not, I would say that's, like, pretty fundamental to how they fight. Because it's also what you do versus, like, Fox. It's what you do versus Falco. It's what you do versus friggin' Pikachu and Young Link if they run away. Like,
yes, and I think not doing it is actually one of my biggest weaknesses. Like, that's what I've been trying to work on against Fox and Falco especially, is being like, okay, you know what? I'm going to take center, and they're going to run to the corner, more than likely, or to the plats, and, like, that's just the matchup. And instead of getting frustrated about it, be like, okay, this is my space, and I'm either going to take yours, or I'm going to let you fail to take mine.
Yeah, like, this all looks great. Like, honestly, like, it's, to me, this is just... I feel like there's parts of the character that you very much that you kind of, like, initially understood as being important, and this is just one that, like, maybe we didn't catch right away, but, like, now that you're getting it, yeah, I think you're gonna find this matchup...
Shit.
Oh yeah, no, she pops off on him. Like...
What the hell is that?
Once I think you get this I would say that one of the best things that you can do is if you start to notice that the opponent has a habit of, like, backing up to the corner or, like, running away from you because they don't want to deal with Peach's, like, bulldozer moves, which is totally reasonable. Like, that is nobody wants to. Like, why would you want your opponent in advantage state? Like, in their, like, advantageous position? It's just, no. But if you can, like, figure out how they're, like, I would say, let's create a habit of setting up shop in the middle, and then, like, kind of working off of that and seeing how we can cut off options in almost every matchup. Like, I can't think of...
50% off of one hit. That is fucking insane.
Mm-hmm. I can't think of many matches where she doesn't do that in some capacity. So with that in mind, how do you feel about popping into some ranked, and we can go from there?
Sure, yeah. I also I want to mention that I think the last week has been really interesting in a lot of other ways too. I've felt like this is going to be sort of a tangent, but I've felt weirdly alienated from the Melee community in a lot of ways. I mentioned this when I started the coaching.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of it comes down to there was some toxicity in the scene early on. I actually found an old Smashboards post where I was talking about something, and this guy that was relatively toxic to me back in the day popped into the thread just to kind of be an asshole. And I just remember, like, those feelings, you know, being young and kind of getting shit on by people and just not really feeling, like, welcomed or respected in the local scene as much. And so I've been kind of almost alienating myself from it for a lot of reasons. And I think last week I joined a bunch of Discords and started talking in the Peach Discord a lot, and I feel like that has been really awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Honestly, like, so one, absolutely hear you on, like, I hear you on the bit about just not, like, feeling an outsider, really, in your own community. It sucks, but, like, yeah, I remember those, and I think that I was lucky because I just happened to, like, I happened to find a play group anyway, and then happened to get really good, so then Yeah, we were kind of a might makes right culture here in Toronto back then. So once I was good, people like they kind of like just like, but I get that's not everyone's experience. Like it's, and I can't imagine how much that's got to like feel blech going through that.
Yeah, and I think in a lot of ways, that held me back from getting good, if that makes sense. Where like,
Yeah.
I don't know. But either way, I joined the Peach Discord. They're all super awesome and welcoming and friendly, and that's been really cool. I've learned a ton. Just like even learning a bunch of tech like the slap dashing. I find all that stuff really interesting, and they just are really knowledgeable, and they kind of answer all my questions about the character, which is cool.
That's absolutely, honestly, like that's kind of Peach Discord is really good. I like Nest Discord. It was like making the Nest Discord not so like bad was a very big priority of mine. Just because I kind of figured that like it's such a disadvantage to not have like people's experiences, like having to go through the arduous task of like figuring all that stuff out all over again. It sucks.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you found out about hyperfloats and stuff?
Yeah, give me 1 sec, my bad. I forgot about the code. I was sharing screen.
No, it's okay. If you want to share screen, that's fine. We can see stage striking that way. Sometimes people have connection issues, but if it won't be a problem, we can just do it that way.
Yeah, no, it should be pretty good. It should be pretty fun.
Yeah.
And if it is, we'll switch after next match.
Yeah, we'll take it we'll take it as it comes. So with that in mind, how do I full screen this? Here we go.
Yeah, the game is awesome, man. It's such a good game. It's so much fun, but it's also like it can be really frustrating at the same time.
Oh yeah. Speaking of
Falco. Yeah. I actually have been doing. I've been learning a lot about the Falco matchup, and I'm feeling pretty hype about it.
Nice.
Lately. So, I am going to. I actually really like Yoshi's against Falco because they can't run away, but I think I'm gonna try and Battlefield.
Honestly, I would have gotten rid of Battlefield.
Really?
For the same reason. He can't run to top platform, and then like he doesn't have a second good counter pick anyway, so.
Yeah, maybe we can talk about that after this set.
Yeah, we'll play it by ear.
Oh, that was nice, actually. Shield drop.
Nice.
Oh man, that was a missed input.
Meant to float?
I meant to grab.
Nice. After landing sometimes, like, especially if he's, like, right next to you, just go for down smash once in a while. Because a lot of times you, like, back up, but then he just kind of chases you, and because you're slow, like, it helps him, like, what it does is it helps him, like, know that he can't stay there or just chase you freely.
Oh man.
Ooh, nice follow-up. I like that in there. Oh, perfect edge guard. Let's go. Perfect answer to that forward.
Okay.
Pokemon or Yoshi's is what
Yeah. I think Pokemon. I don't mind Yoshi's just because I feel like I can actually get a hold of the damn bird.
Yeah, you just rush them down. Like once you're like it's scary because you have to not get killed by the thingy, like by the shine stuff. But like yeah, as long as you're aware of like those options and like looking for the DI, like which way you're supposed to be DI, then yeah, it's not so bad. It will still happen occasionally. The ease in which that you like hit him is like still, I think, overall a net positive, but
Yeah, no, it's actually been my go-to starter and like counter pick stage against him, just because like there's so much value in being able to get your hands on him.
so you see how he's like holding down on all of these like float cancel aerials at low percent? These are the types of spots where I would be looking to down smash, because you just like 40 him. Trying to get fancy. Stunting.
Well, actually, I've been going for that a lot because they'll drift back, and it feels like the only way I can kind of get a true follow up. But yeah.
Do you necessarily need a true follow up if you know they have to land?
No, definitely not. Which I think is why it counts as getting fancy.
Yep. Love this. Yeah, this looks so much cleaner from when you started. It's crazy. Like, it's not, like, the tech skill is better, but the big thing that, like, it's a little bit better, but, like, the big thing that's improved, because your tech skill was already, like, fairly good when you started. Like, it's still definitely better, but I think the big thing for me is just, like, the way you're positioning, the way you're fighting him is a lot cleaner. Like, there aren't as many wasted actions or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah? What were you gonna say?
I'll say it after this, just because my brain is
totally
kind of
fine.
on track.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, so I feel like also that particular player wasn't playing super well, or maybe wasn't warmed up, or didn't have the matchup knowledge. But also, I don't know how much of that is because of how I'm playing. You know what I mean? Like, there are times where people are all over me, and it's like, are they all over me because they're really good, or because they know the matchup, or maybe I'm playing bad? Like, it's difficult to know like why a match is going a certain way sometimes. That one I felt pretty confident and relaxed, but like maybe they were just having a bad time, you know?
Possibly. I don't really see how I don't really see how any of it matters, though. Like, you can't really account for, like, you know, the opponent's level of expertise. We don't really know. We just don't have that information at the end of the day.
True. Yeah. You mentioned something a couple of sessions ago where you were like, I'm gonna queue up, where you said something like, I think that you just think too much or something, and I was like, oh fuck, it's like a major call out for my whole life. So I've had this motto in the last couple of weeks of like, think less, do more, and I'm kind of trying to apply it to like multiple different parts of my life, but especially Melee. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for Pokemon Stadium, just because I know he's gonna ban Dreamland, which is ironic given that it's probably his best stage.
Peach is definitely likes Dreamland, but like it's annoying. Nice, he's dead.
That was nuts, actually.
Oh yeah, no, like, what I really liked is that after he realized he didn't, I don't know if this is intentional or, like, if it was a subconscious thing, but, like, after he showed that he wasn't holding down on down smash, because he just went out right away, you then did, like, a combo that punishes him for not holding down. Because that's why the FC Nair dash attack worked. Because if he holds down, that link isn't true. Like, I'm at that percent. But, like, because he didn't hold down, like, it is. Ah, full Hoppy Falco.
It was very strange. I don't even think it's like an effective playstyle, but it's very common.
I mean, his full hop is good. Like, it's high, but, like, it's good. I would say that,
That was
like...
actually nuts.
Yeah, he played well. He did something good there. We're running into the back airs a lot. We want to, like, if he's back airing, we want to get under him or like bait outside it. Like we're whiff punishing or we're getting under him. We can also shield them too. Like if he's doing them pretty high up, we can also just shield them as well. Like get under him and shield them. See, he misses next to you, but then we go for, like, something really slow, like float cancel. We just have to down smash or grab him, or, like, dash attack him. We can't go for something, like, that takes forever. And it takes a while to come out. Ooh. Attacking into him from below is usually not preferred compared to just like dodging, getting out of the way, and hitting him after when he's coming in from high. His down air has a lot of mix-ups on it on his timing, so it's really hard to just straight up intercept it. See what I mean?
Oh yeah. Get the fuck off my stage, dude. Yes.
Because like, you see
I
how
wanted that win.
Because you see how like much easier that down air was to manage once we stopped like trying to challenge it directly so much. Because like the challenging directly is more like the plan B. It's the mix-up for when you have a sense of like what they're doing with it, but like in general, it's better to like not play into it if you don't have to.
I felt the character change coming, and now I'm just gonna go full aggro.
Remember, if he misses next to us, we don't always have time for like aerials if we're on the ground. So we just have to like take the grab or the dash attack or the down smash like as it comes up. If you're already in the air, that's fine, but like yeah, a lot of times we're like going into the air and respawn like when he's like landing. Yeah, see what I mean? It's just so much faster. Yep, it's a kill. Let's go. I was gonna say, we held on to that turnip for a very long time.
Yeah.
Did you have a plan with it, or was it just like, I don't know, I feel like I need this?
I had a plan with it, but it just didn't work out.
Ah. That was a really good stock. You kept, like, advantage on him really, really well. Try to do your dash attacks, like, a little closer down.
Oh, if I had got what I wanted.
Nice DI. I bet it feels good when you see that and you realize you're not dead.
Oh yes.
Good spacing.
No.
I really like the choice of Nair there. Like, even if it didn't work, like, I think that it was absolutely the right pick. Because, yeah, like, you hit him off efficiently, you transition to turnip, like, you're ready to edge guard, like, it's just it's like a really good setup, it's just we happen to miss.
Yeah.
Easy clap.
No, it's kind of wild. It feels like a lot of my practice has been paying off, which is crazy.
I know,
Nice.
right? Like, concerted effort, get results? Wild.
No, it's cool because there was a moment there where I was feeling like legitimately hopeless. But I think a big part of it has been like not checking the number. Like I don't want to know what the number is right now almost.
Honestly, that I've heard people have like blocking the browser so they can't check. So
Yeah, honestly, not a bad strat. Like I just think that the less that I know about the number, the more that I'm like playing to play and not playing for the number.
I forget who told me that they did that recently. It might have even been you. I don't know, but like
It wasn't me.
Okay. No, it was somebody else, but like I just heard that and I went, you know what? Honestly, that's like a really good idea. I should probably do that. All right, Murph. Cool. So he's jumping into like the area directly above and in front of you a lot, and we are not dash attacking much. Like when he goes there. See, like, we're shielding a lot, and we're going for, like, aerials out of shield and, like, float cancels. But, like, the thing is, you kind of want to be using your dash attack when he does those, like, fairs. Dash attack is an anti-air. Nice.
Fuck you.
Nice. No!
Hell yeah.
Alright. It's okay.
Fucker. Okay. The cool thing is I know for a fact I can beat this guy if I just play well.
I'm sure that you can.
This person.
I'm sure that you can. My only thing is, he's just getting away. I feel like he's getting away with like jumps that I consider kind of like murder. See, like, your Nair doesn't go as forward as quickly as your dash attack does, so when he's in the corner like that, you can't, like, Nair him. Like, yeah, we just need to be more willing to dash attack this fool when he's jumping around into, like, the do not go zone. We need him to be closer, but, like, yeah. Like, these are very risky jumps he's doing. We gotta not be afraid of them. You can just like if you're close enough, you can just hit those.
It's just that he spent so much time running away that it's like, you just want to hit him, you know what I mean? Rather than stand across the stage from each other. Like the response to this play style is just to pull turnips for the whole match.
So I would say well, you know what? Let's explore this. So let's take the turn. Let's use the turnip and take center stage, and then go from there.
What a stupid fucking character.
He can be frustrating.
Yeah. No, that was all skill.
I mean, he did tip the fares. Like, let's be real here. There was
Probably
like,
not intentionally.
let's not ascribe things to them that we can't see or understand. Because remember, we don't have information about this guy. If we're feeling frustrated, we just gotta we gotta like hold that, we gotta accept that and move on. Because right now we're not. Yeah. Accept that, take a breath, move on.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Try not to stay in the spot you're in after you pull the turnip. Like, a lot of times you like you're on the platform when you pull it, and then you like stay there and shield and stuff. But like, get out of there. You don't want to actually be there, because you also can't like fire the turnip at him in a relevant way, which is a problem. Nice.
Bitch. Yeah, nice fair, bro. Hell yeah. Yeah, I got those.
Yeah, but should we be using them in air-to-air versus him? Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go for some shotgun nairs just for fun.
Seems like a good idea. Like, it's good versus his grab.
He's gonna go for gimmicky forward smashes just for fun. Like I said.
I mean,
like I said.
to be fair, you're like at 113, right? Like, what else does Marth do to kill you here other than like F smash and up tilt and side B up tilt?
Well,
let's talk about that one briefly.
sure.
So that was a frustration that I haven't seen from you in a bit. What happened? Like, so what went on? What happened there?
I think it. So the best way I can explain it is that for some reason there's like a chemical reaction within my brain where I get legitimately frustrated when someone is like playing the game in a way that I feel is really fucking lame. Like I just can't imagine being like, you know what, I really love Melee, it's beautiful and it has this amazing engine that allows me to express myself, and I'm gonna just like pick a character and like stand in the corner or grab repeatedly, or in the case of Marth, forward like fair and F smash. I know it's dumb. I know it's scrubby. It's certainly like one of the things I'm working on right now. It's nice because I feel like I've gotten over that with Falco, and I think that it's just going to take time with maybe different characters or something.
I would say that like this is. So if that's the case, how did you get over it with like Falco and Fox, right? Like,
I just accepted the fact that the people, like the types of people that play them, are like 95% going to just they're picking them because they're good characters and probably not for many other reasons, and they really just want to like use their 2 or 3 like centralizing tools. So like for example with Falco, I was really frustrated with laser for a long time, and I would constantly like after laser spam I would get really tilted and be like, why the fuck are you even playing the game if you're just gonna laser? And then I just realized that there's no point in getting upset about it because a huge majority of the player base, especially at my current level, are like playing the character for that specific tool, and like that's their whole game plan is to use the laser. in a similar way to, and not in a disparaging way, but in a similar way to like a lot of Sheiks are gonna be trying to grab constantly. A lot of Marths are gonna be trying to get lame ass forward smashes a lot, and I just need to kind of get over it, I think.
Well, I would say that, like, honestly, what might even help you is, so I noticed that there's still kind of like, there's an effort to like kind of understand the reason why they're doing something, right? But
Yeah.
I would question, like, is that even necessary?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Because, like, yeah, like, because if we're having to like add justification to like decisions that we don't necessarily have the information to make that thing for, like, why can't it just be they're doing forward smash because it's a good move on Marth?
For sure.
Because because it's like it's one of Marth's like powerful tools. That's it. And the thing is that like when we kind of remove the player from it a little bit more, and focus more on the in-match decisions, I think that like we can see the situations more clearly. Like if you actually go back and rewatch that match, the main times that player forward smashes, I'm not gonna say there weren't like early percent low forward smashes, but the main times that he forward smashed were basically when you were at high percent or it was at the end of the combo. Like,
Right.
it was just what was available.
Yeah.
So
I think some of it comes down to conditioning as well. Like I mentioned some of like the toxicity in the local scene earlier, and I think that back in the day there was a lot of people that kind of shamed me for playing lame. Like early on, I played a lot of Sheik and was just trying to like really optimize grab setups and in playing Peach. I think Peach is like a character that a lot of people don't like for some reason, which is wild to me because I think she's so sick. But yeah, maybe it just comes from that in some ways where there's like conditioning to add like a value, like a judgment on playstyle, if that makes sense, which I think I just need to get rid of that completely.
well, yeah, and I'd add that like it's also just very normal for humans to like patterns. We see them when they're not there a lot of the time. It's just one of our little quirks. So I don't think it's like irrational well, I don't think it's like stupid or dumb or like you being like, I don't think that's anything. It's a judgment on you. I think it's just this is what people do, but we kind of have to be aware of these things because they get in the way of us, like, A, enjoying the game, B, playing well, and C, like, understanding what the opponent is actually doing. Because one exercise that I think that I would really encourage you to work on, that I think that would be really good, is looking at your percent once in a while and then kind of thinking, okay, so what does my opponent want? Because I think that could have helped, that kind of like model could have helped you a lot against the Marth player. But the thing is, it doesn't work if we're already like making attributions that are not game related to why the Marth player is doing things.
Right. Yeah,
So,
also, you just reminded me of something as well, which is probably something I could do for this set, where I've been using Clippy and turning off the uh, combo must kill option, and then setting the percent a bit lower, and it allows you to kind of mine for spots where like you got a really juicy combo and then didn't follow it up in some way, and just figuring out like what could I have done in that situation to,
that's
follow up.
brilliant. I never thought about doing it that way. That actually makes a ton of sense. Huh.
Yeah, the only downside is that you get a ton of highlights. So if I set the combo percent to like 40% and turn off the death requirement, I'll get like 300 highlights, and I have to kind of sort through them all.
Is there a way that you can do it like combo didn't kill?
Yeah, that's no. There's no specific combo did not kill.
Oh, I feel like that
But
should be a
if
setting.
you set, yeah, it definitely should. I think it's a little bit outdated in some ways. Like it's kind of not being supported as much anymore. And I was thinking about maybe making some changes actually.
I mean, I use Slippypedia, but I don't know if that's the same thing or if that's something else. But let's queue again, and I think for this match, let's try to let's do two things. We're gonna, one, try to avoid making attributions for our opponent's decision making based on who they are as a player or anything like that. We're just gonna we're just gonna remove their personality out of this completely if we can.
Especially if they're a Marth player, because then they don't have a personality, which is a joke, and I'm totally just kidding.
Well, no. That's the exact kind of energy that we're looking for. Remove personality. So it's an extreme solution, but I mean, it works.
This person's playing Daisy too, apparently, and so I'm going to, I guess, play something else.
Go white or green. White or green.
This is not a matchup I have a lot of experience with, and I've historically lost every ranked set of Peach Dittos.
I have I literally have you winning this on recorded.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. From like our last set, from the session before the last one, you literally 2-0'd the last Peach I saw you play. So
Nice.
let's think about this. What does Peach want to hit herself with? If you're at 0, what does Peach want to hit herself with?
Probably Nair or Bear, just to like set up for a combo. Fair wouldn't be bad. Maybe a grab, but also of course down smash.
Yeah, so like pick one of them, like pick the one, prioritize like the two most important to deal with, and then like try to play to beat those two. Okay, now you're both at like mid%, so think about what she wants now, and then like, what does she want now, and play to beat it. But decide fast. Don't worry about like speed as of the essence here.
I think what this particular player wants is to pull turnips.
Turnips aren't really like something that I would consider like a thing here in this model, because turnips are kind of like Falco's laser in that they're like more of a way to get something. They're not like, it's not that the turnip itself that they're looking for. Like a turnip is not like the end of the string. It's always the beginning. So yeah, it's still important to know for neutral purposes, but like it's not. You kind of see what I'm getting at.
Yeah. I'm taking this to the bank.
Honestly, 54 and Peach Ditto from a single hit is like pretty good.
Yeah.
You're doing a good job of playing around the kill moves. Like, the way that you're kind of, like, not letting her just get a free aerial at some point is, like, really, really good. Because that's, like, free aerial and throw is how she, like, kills you here. So you're just not letting her have those options is, like, quite strong.
I think this person is over it. Yep. I felt it coming.
But you can see how, like, just denying them their win can do, like, denying them the hit they need to, like, close the stock, like, that's so strong in this kind of matchup. Because it's, like, it's not that you can't be proactive and, like, pressure them and, like, you know, go nuts on them. It's just that, like, you have to also, yeah, okay, cool, Marth now. So Marth at 0, what does he want? No, you're at 0 versus Marth, what does he want?
This guy probably wants cheeky forward smashes since he counterpicked me to Yoshi's.
Okay, but, like, does that make sense at 0? Because I haven't seen a forward smash yet.
True.
Okay, there's
there
one.
we go. Yep, I told you. That's literally what this player wants. I called it.
Okay.
Bitch.
Okay, as an experiment, let's try to do all the FC nairs you use to punish like his missed aerials. Let's try to just do dash attacks there or grabs there, just as an experiment.
Yeah. I'm happy I hit that down smash just because I knew that what he wanted was basically crouch cancel F smash.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hope they have a better day after this.
I don't.
They obviously had much fun. Yeah. I get that way a little bit during matches as well. That was what I was talking about when I first started getting coaching with you, where I was like, a lot of times in ranked, I'll just get fed up and just start SDing because it's like, I'd rather go do anything else than try and figure out how to, you know, get in on this person. But it's funny, I feel like a lot of my frustrations as a player come from tactics that I personally employ, which is kind of funny and maybe hypocritical, but it's certainly probably true.
I think we are just worrying way too much about things that are like not within our control. Like, it's not that I'm saying I don't hope they have a better day in the sense that like I don't in the sense that I want them to have like a worse day. It's more that I just don't really care either way. It doesn't really impact me. And I don't know them. For all I know, that was a bot. That was a really badly programmed bot playing that decides to SD whenever it's 2 stocks down. Like, nobody, like, we have no way of knowing.
I hope they don't see this. I really hope they don't see this.
I mean, like, I have nothing against them, but I have nothing against them. It's just, I don't know them. I have no information about them. I have no idea who they are. And that's the point. Like, this is part of, like, I think that, like, especially in an online environment where you have so little of, like, the human component of, like, the play experience, yeah, it's okay if we, like, I think that the degree of separation is actually quite healthy, because we don't have the ability to, like, ask our opponent, hey, what did you mean by that? Or, hey, what's going on? Or, like, there's no, you know what I mean? All that social blending that happens, and, like, that social translation that happens with the presence of another human being, like, being with you, that's just not here. And that's not a good or bad thing. It is just what's going on.
For sure. Yeah, no, it's an interesting topic that I feel like people don't talk about enough. It's certainly different, right? Like, the dynamic of playing Melee in, like, what they called them, fests locally, but, you know, there would be these, like, Melee fests and Smash fests, whatever you want to call them. And the dynamic of playing Melee there versus, like, playing unranked is so different. I've talked to a lot of people, especially, like, plat and lower level players, that have kind of talked about really getting salty about people on unranked, like, just attributing a lot of almost, like, hatred to people on unranked for, like, no reason that's logical. In a way that, like, you if you get grabbed by a Sheik, like, 8 times in a row on unranked, like, you hate them. But if you get grabbed by your homie, like, 8 times, you're like, you know, you're still homies. It's weird.
Yeah, so let's go into direct for just a second, because I want you to try something. Because I feel like this will like make more sense. So we'll just, yeah. You have my code, perfect.
Yeah, you're the only person I direct with, so.
So, I want you to try to punish. I want you to just, as an experiment, just try to, like, punish the, like, I'm gonna do some fairs, and I just want you to try to, like, punish them using different, like, using the dash attack versus using, like, float in air. So be closer. There you go. No, floating under an air. Yeah, exactly. See what I mean? Like, it's so hard because the thing is, your jump squat is such that it's, like, really hard for you to get under it with that. It's why I keep saying, like, just dash attack him. You actually want to be closer. Like, you want to hit your, so when your dash attack comes out, like, you want to be about this distance at most when you're inputting the A button, because you'll get the sweet spot there. And maybe a hair closer. There you go.
And so the idea is, like, I'm just anti-airing the fairs in place. So what's the goal of that? Is it just to, like, get some damage, hit them up, maybe start a combo, or is it to try to condition them to stop the fairs?
Kind of all of the above. So, like, again, here, let me just die. So at this percent, you really want to, like, make sure that you want to try to hit the pop-up hit as much as you can. Like, do it, like, later, like, do you know where the hitbox is, like, on? Yeah, exactly. Because now you can get a combo off of that. Now, maybe not, like, exactly at 0. I think you can, like, act out. But, like, around, like, this percent, like, this is so juicy. Yeah. But it's all about, like, you're kind of hitting his legs, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's actually, like, yeah, it's actually, like, further back even. Now, at these percents, like, these middle ones, yeah, you can still pop him up and shark him, or you can hit him off stage. But yeah, I would recommend, like, trying... Let's actually have me just jump so there's no fair. Try to hit, like, the strong hit dash attack. Like, just try to get it. Yeah, so that's where it is. Try to hit it from a little further away. Like, try to figure out where the range is. Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, I think it's probably about, like, right here.
Yeah.
They don't have different sound effects, do they?
The animation, like, the hit animation, the impact splat is bigger, I think. But I think that they have the same sound effect. It's like the psh, or, like, splat sound. But yeah, like, this also works on his nair and stuff too. You know what I mean? See how you get under it? Like, yeah. But this, and as you get more comfortable with it, like, push the envelope, like, try to get closer. Because you want it, like, I almost view it as, like, you're hitting with her wrist or something when you get the strong hit.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like, that was good. There you go.
Yeah, I can see how, especially if he's not pressing space as much, how that could be really useful. And there's also a lot of like ability to crouch cancel out of it as well. Like if you do get hit, you can, because you're on the ground.
Yeah, like if you come in with dash attack and hold down like after, then you're fine.
And actually, I wonder, let's get like one fair on me, and I'm gonna try and crouch cancel it, and then try to go for just a second one, and I'm gonna. Okay.
No,
you can get the nair out.
Oh, but if you could you could probably just like dash attack after.
I have to dash out of crouch.
Doesn't look so hard.
Yeah.
But that's why I keep saying to do. Fine. That's why I keep saying to do that move, because it's like so much A, it's faster. A, it goes further, and like A, it's faster. B, it goes further, and then like on top of that, like yeah, there's the defensive perks of being on the ground. So like it's a much better way of like punishing his like fair, and his missed aerials. And the thing is, there's kind of like a built-in mix-up with it too with grab, because of like you're still staying on the ground, so you have immediate access to grab as a backup plan. Like that's so good. So. If there's one thing I like very much like please implore you to do in the Marth matchup specifically, although versus any character who has like a powerful fair that like kind of jumps into that diagonal, yeah, just get used to like figuring out when you can dash attack it, because like and how to get, and you know, trying to get like the combo start, like the launcher hit on it, because it really does make the move better. Like it is
for sure.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, definitely. I will hyper focus on that for a little bit.
Yeah, and like you'll also, I think, get a better appreciation of where the float cancel aerials kind of like fit into her overall game plan, because then you'll like they're not unplayable for like whiff punishing, but they're kind of a backup plan in the same way that like challenging Falco directly in the air is a backup plan. But we generally want to do like move around him first. And it's like, well, why like so when does this other thing fit in? And it's well. You know, we have a bit of a read on what he's going for, and we think that we can get a better punish by going for it. But, like, we need to know why he's But if our initial line of defense is so inconsistent, there's no real reason for him to be conditioned. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure.
So, this will help you add structure. So, I think that's our time for now, but, like, how do you feel this went? And, yeah, what are your thoughts? How do you feel about, going forward from this?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just, I think Melee is just a process, and I think for me in particular, there's a lot of things that are just going to come with time. Getting less tilted, getting more used to some of the, you know, air quotes, cheesy options, and kind of how to deal with them, just learning matchups, getting used to nerves and stuff. You know what's funny is, I really do feel like my level is much higher than my rank right now. In a lot of ways, not in a like I deserve a higher rank. I think my rank is right where it should be, because I think the variability in my play is pretty huge, and I think, you know, what's interesting is just thinking about that is a problem for everybody, right? Like everybody has matches where they play really well, everyone has matches where they play a little bit worse, and so I think kind of decreasing the variability in that for me is kind of the goal right now, more than like winning or losing matters, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I think that this, so everything you're saying is basically hitting. I don't really have a whole lot to add to it, but I would say my experience is generally very similar. Funnily enough, I kind of think that the way that we seed things kind of contributes to like things like that. Like I felt that way about like going in tournaments. Like I felt that similarly about tournaments a long time ago, like when I was still competing in way back in 2010 and 11 and stuff, because it felt like you had to be better than your seed in order to place well, you know.
Yeah.
Like if you were maybe if you were the 25th best player in the room, but you don't have like the legacy of being the 25th best player in the room, then you're usually not being seeded. So at that point, you know, you have like round 1 mango or something a lot of the time. Like it's really, really difficult to like overcome a lot of that. It's really difficult to overcome that, but it's just kind of also the way it's built. It's not like it's not, what helped me with that is learning that like it's not a personal attack on me. It's just the way, like, whenever you build a mechanism with ranks and things like that, and like reward systems, there's going to be like people that are like more geared towards immediately benefiting from it, and there's going to be people who aren't. A lot of times it just has to do with like your learning process and like how you get better, and it just is what it is. Like, we can't exactly overhaul our entire structure, so we just kind of like have to learn how to operate within it in a way that works for you. So I just hope that we're doing that, and if we are, then hype.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm definitely really enjoying the game right now, and I think it's just going to take some time, and I'm just excited to, continue improving over time. I think there have been a lot of things where I got frustrated or just caught up in other life stuff and stepped away from the game in the past, and I'm just really looking forward to like giving it some longevity this time, and not being like, if I'm not significantly better in 3 months or something, then I've failed in some way. I'd rather like, even if it takes like 5 years, like the game is what it is and it's not changing. So I just want to get as good as I can.
Yeah, so I've given you a list of key takeaways as well, so I'll let you take a quick look at that, and with that, I'm going to hit cut on the recording. But this was great, and if you have any questions about the things there or want to add anything, let me know, and we'll take it from there.